All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today with you. Talking about happy, I'm lately really interested because whenever I write the tube, I have this habit, I don't know if you do it, if anyone reads a book next to me, I have to read it too. So I realized a trend, and the books that I see often now are about happiness. So especially when the books are about happiness, people go like, don't read it. I'm not interested in that. So I'm like, okay, what is it about happiness that people are so interested in? And I go and check on Amazon Books. So I put happiness there as a search, and I get 50,000 results. It's like, wow, seems a lot. Let me look at something else to see kind of how much other things get. And I was like, okay, what is about pregnancy? People want to know about pregnancy, right? So I find, 50,000 as well. What about depression? 50,000 as well. And I found only one that had more, that was career, with 60,000. So okay, seems that happiness is something we're really obsessed about. We really want to know about it. But do we all talk about the same thing when we talk about happiness? Is my happiness your happiness? And what do we understand of it? So I would like to have a little poll here with you. I give you two options, and we're going to see what option you prefer. So let's have option 1. I'm satisfied with my life and I feel good. And option 2, I live a meaningful life and I develop my potential. So who prefers version 1? Just be spontaneous. All right. And who prefers version 2? Okay. So I see about a third goes for the option 1 and about 2/3 for the option 2. This already shows that we do not talk about the same type of happiness when we talk about happiness. So I would like to go back in time. And I saw that since the start of humanity, people are really worried about happiness and to define it and find a way to get it. So this is Aristippus in the 4th century before Christ. And his idea was that our ultimate goal is to maximize pleasure. And this is called the hedonic happiness, which is very common today. What does it mean? Unfortunately, you cannot really see it so well, but it means that psychologists have found a formula to describe this kind of happiness, where we say we calculate our life satisfaction, we put into that when our positive affect, so when we feel good, and we have minus negative effect, so we don't feel so good. So what does it mean? Let's see in our society today. I go for the dream job. I'm going to have that amazing job that will give me a lot of money, and then I'm going to buy that car, and everybody is going to look at me driving in this car and be like, oh my God, this woman is amazing. She must be so happy. And then I'm going to get that house. It has a pool in the backyard. You can't see it, but it's an amazing house. And then maybe I also get a horse because I really like horse riding. It makes me happy. And I go partying with my friends. I get some booze. We go dancing. We go really, really crazy. It's so much fun. And then because I'm so busy and kind of all the time in the road, I get that holiday in the Maldives and I'm going to relax there. So this is our happiness today. Just what happens is this. This is called the hedonic treadmill. So the hedonic treadmill or adaptation means that we all have a level of happiness to which we always rebound. So we get a positive event, woo, we get happy, and go down to our initial level. So woo, we go happy again, woo, we go down. So we need to get going with those positive events so that we feel happy, because that's what we want. We want to feel good, pleasure. Okay, so we come back to that initial level of happiness. But okay, is there another way of increasing our happiness? Anyone else had ideas about that? Yes, we have another one, it's eudaimonic happiness, thought of by Aristotle. He says, actually, what makes us happy and is our ultimate goal as human beings is a meaningful life. It means that we want to realize our true nature. We want to develop our talents, develop virtue, and put it in the service of society. And once we achieve that, we realize our purpose. So, purpose. Easy, no? I go after my purpose. Do you know your purpose? You go after your purpose? No, it's not easy. What is our purpose? That is something that we really think a lot about, maybe, until we find it. So I think an helpful thing to think about purpose might be motivation. So what psychologists have found is that we have a motivation along a continuum. And it goes from intrinsic motivation. That is the motivation we are born with. Imagine children playing. They just play for the sake of it. They just enjoy it. There's no competition. There's no anything from outside. We really get into the flow of doing it. And we go for things that are in according to our values. We are authentic doing it. And we feel fulfilled. This is what is intrinsic motivation. Now, on the other hand, this is something more familiar to us sitting here, because the more we become adults, we move towards a more extrinsically conditioned motivation. What does it mean? It means that we need external reward, like money or grades. We get good reputation. We want to do it for looking good towards the others. And in many cases, we receive control and punishment if we don't do what we are meant to do. So looking at this way of seeing motivation, I define purpose as the set of goals that I set myself for which I'm intrinsically motivated. And funnily enough, the people who are intrinsically motivated in their life are the people that are happier. So this guy is Charles Darwin. He's thinking a lot about evolution of species. So let's say our purpose is our evolution. What does he have to say about human beings' evolution? So, survival of the fittest, we all heard about it. What does he say about human beings, though? He says communities, which included the greatest number of the most sympathetic members, would flourish best and rear the greatest number of offspring. This means that, in reality, now you can't see it, but the kindest people are going to be the ones that perform best. The people who cooperate, who work together. So, this was a very long time ago. Sympathy today is called empathy. And social neuroscientists have done a lot of research around it. We haven't found out everything, but we have found out a lot. So let's have a little test of empathy. How does it feel? Please keep looking at the screen. So I see some people going like, ooh, exactly. It feels quite bad when we see that, isn't it? And what do you think about this one? I hear some laughter, but a little bit of a ooh laughter. The little cat. So we apparently can also feel empathy towards animals. And I want to test one last one with you. Oops. What about this one? I actually feel quite sorry for that tree too. So empathy means we share emotion with another person or being. And how does it look in the brain? It looks like that. So this is a woman, and in green, so this is the brain. The resolution is not that good here on the screen, but I hope you can kind of see. The green parts is where she is stimulated with pain. So it's the centers in the brain that relate to pain sensation. The red bits are her partner being stimulated with pain, and she's watching him. So we see that actually, even without feeling it ourselves, sensing the pain, our brain lights up in the same areas. And empathy is the basis for all pro-social behavior. Anything we do towards our community and other people is based on empathy. And when we combine it with something else, for example, the motivation to act, we come to compassion. And then it is not only a reaction in the brain. When we are compassionate, for example, we start to calm down our nervous system. We lengthen our breath. Our heart rate slows down. We become ready to approach a person and soothe the person. That is the motivation. My motivation is to hug, to stroke. And what happens then is, by the touch and by the bonding with a person, I start releasing oxytocin, which is a very important hormone that happens in childbirth, in breastfeeding, in kissing, social intercourse. All those acts that are very important to us as human beings. And it is the antidote to depression. So, in my research, I'm especially interested in this part. Can we change people to become more social? Can we train ourselves to be more compassionate, more empathetic? And there are researchers in Germany who have done exactly that. So we have here 3 types of exercises. The first one is exercising attention, using mindfulness-based exercises. The second type of exercise were training people's affect, so emotional exercises. And the third one were cognitive exercises of perspective exchange. Can I really understand what someone else means, and so on. And so they have done it for 9 months. The people have done it weekly, daily. And what have the researchers found? Is this. They have looked at people's brains after 9 months and have realized that people have increased brain matter in the areas related to those tasks and related to social interaction and social intelligence. So can we now say that this causes behavior change? We cannot say that it causes it. But those researchers have correlated it with performance tests on behavior, and the correlation was significant. So I have used another buzzword. Happiness often comes with mindfulness. Who here in the room knows about mindfulness? Lift your hand. Good, it's about half. And who practices mindfulness regularly? Please lift your hand. Okay, about 10. Great. So I would like to offer a little mindfulness exercise to everyone here. What does mindfulness mean, though? It means basically to pay attention with a specific intention to be present. I do not think about the past and I do not think about the future. I'm present, that's my intention. And I put a certain attitude towards it. I'm going to be non-judgmental. I'm not going to say what I think or feel is good or bad. I just look at it. Okay? So, very easy thing. If you're uncomfortable doing it, just sit on your chair and kind of have a snooze for a minute. The other ones, just come away from the back of your chair, sit upright, and put both of your feet grounded on the floor. So you're now feeling your feet on the ground, and your sitting bones on the chair, and you feel your head rising towards the sky. And then let's take a deep inhale together, taking our arms over our head. Inhale. Holding your breath there for a moment. And exhale, bringing the hands softly down in front of our face into our lap. Holding the breath out. Together, taking an inhale, hands coming over your head, taking a deep inhale, filling the lungs. Holding the air And slowly through your mouth, exhaling, pressing the air out, holding it out, feeling the empty lungs. And one more time, inhale, closing your eyes, holding the air, and exhale, bringing the arms down with your eyes closed, and bring your hands into your lap, keeping your eyes closed, and just allow your breath to flow naturally through your body now. Coming back to feel your feet on the floor, and your head rising towards the sky. Let's take another deep inhale. And exhale. Softly opening your eyes, coming back to the room. So for some of you, this might have been quite a usual thing to do. You might feel quite normal. For others of you, this might have felt a bit weird. Because when do we stop today to just take a deep breath and feel into ourselves and how we are feeling? Very rarely. But in order to connect to other people, we need to slow down. We need to be mindful of ourselves and of others. And that will bring us the connection to others. And the connection to others, the belonging, the feeling of belonging to other people is a psychological need. We need to feel connected to be happy. And we also need to be connected to nature. They go together. Connectedness to nature is a psychological need too. So after all of this, I would like to reflect with you about how we define happiness in our society. Are we going for the right type of happiness? Or are we actually destroying what is most important for us to be well? And so, my message today is that we want to be taking care of ourselves, not be afraid of taking care of others, of animals, of nature, of any purpose that is meaningful to you. And when you have that meaningfulness in your life, the ups and downs don't matter. Because you know why you are having them. It is part of your journey towards your purpose. And so my little encouragement for this weekend is just leave your phones on silent a little bit and take very special, mindful care of a person, of yourself, of an animal, of a plant on your way home, whatever you want to take care of, and feel what it does to you. Thank you very much.